Hey, you guys, Sean with Go Gloves here, and welcome back to episode 6 of my podcast, Spittin Seeds. Today's guests are former friends of mine and Division II baseball players at the University of Texas at Tyler, Garrett Arredondo, and Matt McMillan. How are you guys doing?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm great. So you guys are obviously baseball players. I know Garrett a little bit, Matt. I just met you, but I'm super excited to have you guys on. A lot of the listeners are also baseball players. And for you guys, I think what's really important is knowing each other's stories. So what is your story like for baseball and like where you started and how you got to where you are now?
Got it. So I started playing whenever I was 4, and my dad, like growing up, my dad played baseball through high school. Didn't ever play in college, but played like in his like men's softball leagues, and I was always around it growing up. So like, I think my youngest pictures that I have are me either holding a baseball or swinging a baseball bat. And so from there on, like from little league through high school, college, like baseball, like I played football in high school too, and ended up getting hurt, and then kind of decided that baseball is the route I wanted to go. And then, just kind of took off from there and put everything into baseball.
For sure. What about you, Matt?
Yeah, I mean, pretty much the same thing. I started when I was like 4 or 5 and played all through elementary, middle school. And then when I got to high school, that's when I started growing a lot more and started realizing that baseball's going to be my way out of my hometown and
Yeah, for sure.
just going to college and getting in school paid for. And
Yep.
since then, I mean, it's just been rolling.
Yeah, so I know you guys are in college now playing ball, but Garrett and I actually went to high school together. So for me, high school was the first time where baseball was like really fun because you get to play with all your friends. In Little League, like you're playing against them, but then when you get to high school, you're really playing together as a team. It's some of the best years of your life. So what was high school baseball like for you, and what were some of your favorite memories?
High school baseball, I mean, you can't really compare to it. Like that's probably one of, like you said, the most fun times you have.
Yeah,
Especially playing select ball like when we are in Houston. I mean,
yeah,
you have a huge team or an organization, and like when you get to high school, you get to play everybody surrounding you. So like you're playing against teammates, and then you're playing with teammates, and like I think just having the same team for 4 years, like you can't beat that. Like the bonds you make is just like super special. And it's like
for
it's just a
sure.
good time.
Yeah, for sure. That was definitely the same thing for me. Playing in high school was a lot of fun. The road trips, getting out of class early on like Friday, go
Yes.
travel
For
with the
sure.
boys,
That's the best.
having fun on the bus, and then I mean, it's just so much fun. And then select ball in the summer for me was a lot more fun because I played with all the best guys that were like from high schools right around me, and we
Yeah.
got to bond, and then I'd play against them in high school, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, Texas has some of the best baseball. So high school is like great, but also in Texas, it's just like a whole nother level.
For sure.
So I know Garrett from high school a little bit about his like recruitment process and stuff like that. But both of you guys can tell me like what was that like for you? What colleges were interested in you? Where'd you go visit? Who was talking to you? And how'd that go? And how'd you end up at UT Tyler where you are?
So for me, I really didn't get like my first time ever like playing in front of scouts. I was a sophomore, and I got brought up and I played with the 17 age group, and that was like my first like taste of like seeing radar guns behind the plate, and like obviously like I wasn't throwing anything special. So they weren't there for me, but they were there. So like that was kind of like
Yeah.
the first look into it, and then like as I got older, perfect game. Like whenever I was in like junior high and freshman sophomore year, like perfect game was the big deal. And then
Mm-hmm.
PBR came into play, and PBR blew up. I think my junior year, and I went to a couple of scouting events for PBR, and then they came and watched me actually at high school, and got my name out there a little bit. Got some JUCO interests. Picked up like my first 2 JUCO offers, I think, in my junior year. I think that's when
Okay.
and then our catcher, Fisher Byers,
Yeah.
his cousin is actually the recruiting coordinator here at Tyler.
Oh,
And
no way.
yeah, just out of pure luck, like he showed up to a game, and I pitched and had a really good outing. And he like ended up he was at a junior college at the time, TJC, right down the road from us. And
Mm-hmm.
he moved over here to UT Tyler, and he kind of like lost my information, I guess, when he transferred. And then I went on a visit to TJC, and then I guess word kind of got out about that. And then when I transferred, or whenever they found out about it here at Tyler, they called me and brought me on a visit. And I love the city, and like I had a few other offers from the other D2 schools in Lone Star Conference, and
Yeah,
I mean, like I went to Austin, went here, and then like I don't know, Tyler just felt like home. It
yeah,
was kind of a small town, but like big city feel a little bit. So I mean,
for sure.
I loved it, and like the people here are great. You make some of your best friends,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, you can't beat the baseball here. Like
for
everybody
sure.
sleeps and breathes baseball in Tyler.
hmm Matt, what was it like for you for recruitment?
For me, definitely way different than Dondo. I threw so slow in high school. Totally different story now, but I didn't get seen. I never like really saw any college scouts until my junior summer, going into my senior year.
Mhm.
Um, and then that's when I kind of got my one and only offer, which was here. And I kind of just ran with it and made the most of it. Came on a visit, loved it. Coaches are great, city's nice, and they got to take me around all the facilities and their champions room, which has like
A lot of
18
trophies.
national
Holy
championship
cow.
trophies. And I was just like, I want to be part of a winning tradition. So I was like, this is a place for me.
Yeah. So it sounds like Dondo for you, it came a little bit earlier, but what was that like switch to where you knew like this could be something for me in the future, not just like a hobby?
I would like. It's kind of hard to say. I mean, like I always knew that I had the potential to play college baseball, and then I think like once you like see like I mean everybody trains and like works and wants to get to that next level, and like that was always like a goal of mine was to play college baseball.
Yeah, and you then like the guys you work out with, you
Yeah.
see that they're playing college ball, and you're like, we're
hmm
like the same. So you're like,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is definitely it's like
Especially
it starts getting real like your
yeah.
junior year.
And like from our high school, like we had guys above us that were insane. We had Stone Garrett,
Yeah.
and then just the guys in the class above me, 2 years above you, who were studs. And whenever you
hmm
see offers start rolling in, or not even offers, when you just get coaches' attentions and they start calling you and like texting you, it's just kind of like, whoa, like this is like real. And then like I feel like that switch flips immediately, and like, okay, I was here and now I need to get to the next level. So it's like that, like it's like a whole mentality change. I think like it takes some definitely growing up like quick to
Yeah.
do, because baseball from high school to college is completely different and like
Humbling.
very humbling. Like I think it's just like your worth ethic steps up a whole nother
Yeah.
level. As soon as like everything starts clicking, then you just get hungry for it. You want to keep going.
Yeah. I mean, in college, like in high school, you guys were like the guys. Like your senior year, you were like the core of the team. Where when you get to college, you're in a locker full of the guys. Like you got to compete really for a spot. So I can see how it's very different for that. Um, Coaching, how is coaching? Because I know me and Dono had a really tough coach, a little interesting coach for sure. But how is that transition? I know it's probably hit or miss everywhere you go, but what has your experience been like, and what are like the changes maybe like in the culture or the mindset of a program?
I think like the biggest difference, like, and what people don't really realize is like when you get to college, like, yeah, like the coaching you'd think would be at the next level, which it is, like, but it's not in the sense of, hey, we're gonna do this, this, and this. It's more of on your own to try and figure out what you want to do and how you're gonna get there.
Mm-hmm.
They just get you way more mentally prepared, and like your baseball IQ has to like skyrocket as soon as you get here. Because I mean, you walk in like high school, you're playing 15 to 18-year-olds. You get here, and we've got some guys on our team that are 24, 25 years old. I mean, you're playing grown men, and I
Yeah.
mean, and it's not, and like you learn that not even just through coaches, like just through other players. Just kind of like we sit in the bullpens and pick each other's brains about what we're gonna do at certain situations. And it's just like the game moves so fast already, and it's just
Mm-hmm.
being able to slow it down. And I think they try and make that as easy as possible on you by giving you the insights and how to do that, and then you just kind of pick up and roll from that.
I feel like the biggest thing for me was the time. that we have with our coaches here,
Yeah.
like one-on-one, like pitching groups, bullpens, and then also the technology we have now here.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have a Rapsodo, we have Motosleeve, like we have all this technology to help us just step it up a whole nother level, and it's way different than high school, and it's for real. It's the real deal.
For sure. Going off some of that, you guys are obviously in the off season right now. So what's your week look like? I'm sure you have certain days where you like lift and do that. So maybe like off season and in regular season, what do your days look like in both of those?
As far as off season goes, we have 3 lifts a week, 3 team lifts, and then depending on which part of the fall we're in, NCAA allots you a certain number of hours. So whenever
Okay.
we're in our fall season for like when you like the coaches can decide a date and you get what is it 45 days?
Yeah.
45 days to have like as if it were the spring and practice and be with the full team. And so during that, it's 3 weight rooms a week, and then everybody goes and does weight rooms on their own after that. So you're practically doing 2 days. And then we've got throwing groups, and then we'll have pitchers. I think we do, what is it, 2 throwing groups a week, and then we have 2 team days a week, and then on Fridays, every Friday in the fall is an inter squad scrimmage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Anywhere from 9 to 12 innings. So it's definitely a lot, but it's something that keeps you busy. And I mean,
Yeah.
if you're playing at this level, baseball is something you love, and if you don't, then you're going to realize real quickly that you're not in the right place, and
Yeah.
it eats up a lot of time. And balancing that with school and having a social life, like it's just it can get overwhelming at times. But like I said, I mean, if you love it, it's something that you're willing to do.
For sure.
Yeah, like for me, in season, when we do in season, we get back in January and we hit the ground running. Like we're lifting in the morning every day, 5 times a week. We have long practices, like 9 to what 1,
Probably
9 to 12.
Jeez.
Long practices,
something like that.
and they're just trying to get us ready for the season. And I mean,
Yep.
it's a grind at first, and then once we get that first weekend of conference, I mean, it pretty much eases up after that. Especially if we're playing good, we'll just show up to the
It moves
field,
quick, yeah.
just a little throw in, little shag,
Mm-hmm.
go home.
Especially if road series go, like, God, that's quick because it's
You leave on a Thursday.
you have Mondays are our off days. So you'll have Monday
Okay.
off, practice Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Thursday you'll have a morning lift, and then you leave to go on the road. And we leave at I think the latest we left last year was at like noon. So like you got to hope you don't have a morning class that day, because
Those are
then
the
you're
worst.
then you're running from class to the bus. But besides
Can't
that,
imagine.
and then you're on the road from Sunday, we show up Thursday, get to wherever we're going, practice at that field that night, then like we'll go have a team dinner, go back to the hotel rooms, and then Friday you've kind of got a little bit of time because it's normally a night game on Friday nights, and then
7.
and then depending on if it's some fields in our conference have lights, some don't. So some of our weekend games will be during the day, like a 1 o'clock game. But if it's
Okay.
with lights and it's not freezing cold in February,
Yeah.
they'll play it at like a 6 o'clock, 6:30, 7 o'clock time. So
That's dope. So y'all talked a little bit about like the daily grind and like how much time commitment that is, and it's got to take a toll. But I want to talk about some of the fun stuff and like the gear, because that's really what I'm into. Is like what type of gear do y'all get? And I'm sure y'all have like one day of the year where just like y'all get loaded up on everything. So how much fun is that, and what's it like?
that's probably they call it. It's like, so we get all of you show up in the fall and you get your standard your practice shirt, practice jersey, and then your practice shorts, and you get your weight shoes, weight shirt, weight shorts, and then as it starts getting colder, they'll give you your hoodie, which
Okay.
is this one right here. We're sponsored by Adidas, so we
Nice.
get all Adidas gear. They hook us up, and then you don't really get a lot of your gear until the spring comes, and we'll come back that first day, and we're actually getting a locker room renovation, so we haven't
Dope.
been in the locker at all, but like that'll be done as soon as we come back. So we'll come back and our lockers will look like Christmas morning, and that's like the best feeling in the world because you just get to see all your new gear. But they load us down with jackets, travel shirts, shorts, shoes,
Polos,
boots, turfs,
quarter
That's
zip,
awesome.
tights.
all bunch of stuff. And then we also have a deal with Wilson, so we get custom gloves if you
That's
want
sweet.
them.
What
And
are y'all both rocking with? Looks like Garrett, you have A2000.
I got the A2000, the B2, 12-inch. Got my initials on there with the T.
Sweet.
I pitching for me to go in easily. I'd flare the thumb and round the pinky, and just kind of rock from there.
Nice.
Not the cleanest right now because we've been throwing. It's been raining up here in Tyler, so
Hey, gloves are meant to be used, so
that
Yeah,
is true.
I'm more of a plain guy.
okay.
I've got my T on there.
Looks nice.
Got OTX, just something that means a lot to me. I just keep it to myself. Something I read before I go out there. It's the CK22. It's the Clayton Kershaw glove, 11 3/4.
Nice.
I actually have always used a 12-inch glove, but this is my first glove that was not, and I love it. It's my favorite now. Probably will never switch. And big 2-piece web guy.
Oh,
yeah. Big
That's
big pitcher's web. Those are great
Yeah.
for pitching. Can't see anything. So let's see. I'll talk to a little bit about gear. And Matt, I know you're a little bit older than Garrett, a year older, correct?
Yes, sir.
So you're looking forward to maybe getting drafted soon, going to the MLB. Garrett said you were talking to some scouts about that. What's that been like? How's that process?
That process is crazy. It's nothing I've ever experienced, and I mean it's very nerve-wracking, exciting, just a lot of mixed emotions.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, like just getting calls and stuff and text messages from scouts from all over the country just talking to me, and it's very exciting.
For sure. Garrett, I know you as well are looking to be in the MLB soon in the next few years. You guys have been awesome so far. My last question, it's always the same one. It's with the current climate of the MLB, a lot of fans are unhappy with the current management and Rob Manfred and the commissioner. So for guys like you who are possibly going to be in the MLB very soon, what would you like to see change? And if you guys were like commissioner for one day or put into a commissioner right now, what would you change about the game?
If it were me and I think he's gonna go the same route, I would, for one, if there was one rule I would change, it's the drop third strike. I hate that rule with the
As a pitcher, I can imagine.
yeah. And then I mean, if you look back at baseball when baseball was at its biggest, it
Mhm.
was the roid age,
Yeah.
and I get why it's not allowed, but I think that was that made baseball fun, and it
Yeah.
when people hit 500-foot home runs, and nowadays everything's more analytical, and it's okay, we get this launch angle and all that. But I just thought, looking back, watching those old reruns on MLB Network, I think that the game looks so much more fun at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. If I was a commissioner, that's something I would definitely look into. Because I mean, if you just look when Barry Bonds and Mark McGwire, Sammy Sosa, when all those guys were just going insane, the crowds there were crazy. Everyone's so into the game, they don't even care. They're just this guy's about to hit a bomb. It's
Yeah.
gonna be insane. It's gonna be great. And now it's oh, this guy is throwing at 24 RPM. He has this tilt on his fastball, this swing angle, launch angle, and people are I don't even know what you're talking about. We were talking about this the other day.
What it means.
Some guys don't even know what WAR means or whip, all these different
Yeah.
measurements in baseball. And I just feel I mean, I really like the analytical side, but I feel as a fan, when I watch it, I don't care. I want to see the guy throw 100, and I want to see the guy hit a 500-foot bomb over everything.
Man, it's funny y'all say that as pitchers. Y'all would be the ones not to want to watch a 500-foot bomb hit off you, but
as long as it's not off of us.
Yeah, as long as it's not off me,
I
go ahead.
I don't
There you
want
go.
flash, but I mean, as a fan, that's just something.
And the big thing is yeah, it helps you hit the ball harder and farther, but you still got to be able to play the game.
Yeah, still gotta be able to hit it.
Hit the ball. You still got to make your pitches. you still got to stay healthy. Like, there's a lot that goes into it, and like, I just feel like it would just make everything a lot more interesting to
I
watch,
could
for sure.
bring the energy back to baseball.
Yeah, something I've thought about a lot is the use of like foreign substances as pitchers, because in the MLB, like everyone knows that the pitchers use it. Just no one cracks down on it really. Like you hear about once or twice a year maybe, but if they actually made a rule like either legalize all of it or actually crack down on it, then I think that would like really change the game. Like you'd either see pitchers go way up or way down, and then you'd see like way more home runs.
Exactly. I mean, like you said, I mean, there's no fine definition as to like you'll see guys like everybody's using it, like people
Yeah.
are using it, and it's just like either make the rule and enforce it or don't have the rule. Like, yeah, pine tar may give you 200 more RPMs on a fastball, but like, I mean, at the end of the day, if the dude's throwing well and that's what helps him, let him use it. If he doesn't like it, he doesn't like it. I'm not a pine tar guy. I'm more of a, lick my finger and wipe it and just get a little bit of tack because I don't like the ball sticking to me.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think like we said, I mean, either make it and enforce it or don't enforce it at all.
Yeah, part of that comes from the steroids, because what happened was they knew it was happening and the game was going great, so they didn't want to do anything about it. And now you still see it happening with Robinson Cano as of recently. Like, it's still happening. So, and it's unfair to the guys who are like, I'm not using that. It's like cheating. And then they have to pitch against dudes that are using it. And it's like, it's completely unfair in that way.
Yeah, like if you look on Twitter, like when that came out about Robinson Cano, I forgot who it was, but they tweeted out how like if you think that pitchers aren't using anything to like recover and stay healthy throughout a 162 game season,
Yeah.
you're crazy. Because like, I mean, we play 55 games, and like
That
at the end of that,
takes a toll.
I'm ready to not do
Yeah.
anything for a month.
I don't want to pick up a baseball for a month. My whole body hurts. Hotel beds kill you. Like, I can't imagine.
Yeah.
Mentally and physically.
Oh, it just drains you.
Yeah, I think like your team has to be like, you have to have a rock solid, like it has to be like family to you at that point, because you're with these dudes 8 months out of the year for like MLB, and like it just takes a toll.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and you're always on the road.
For sure. I mean,
sure.
It becomes your family. Like, in high school, you're with them throughout the day, and you go home, see your parents,
Yeah, it's not the same for sure.
I mean, you're living with them, you're traveling with them. When we're on the road, you're in the same hotel room. I mean,
you're grinding together.
That's your family away from your family.
For sure. Well, guys, I can't wish you the best of luck in the future, especially with getting drafted, Matt. Good luck to you guys in the future. I don't know if you guys want to shout out your Instagrams or whatever. I'll let y'all do that if you want.
Yeah. I think Dono needs some more followers.
Yeah, Dondo, you could use some clout.
Hey, man. I'm sorry I'm not Goat Gloves over here. Instagram and Twitter is at gdondo5.
For sure.
And then mine's at Matthew MC8 on Instagram.
For sure. Well, guys, good luck to you guys in the upcoming season. Dondo, I'll see you soon. Matt, nice to meet you. Thank you guys for watching and listening, and I will see you on the next episode.